All right, once again, welcome back to Morning Cafe. This morning on our social and lifestyle segment, we are taking you to the corridors of justice, to court. Our conversation is about family matters, of course, the do's and don'ts of divorce. As we'd already mentioned earlier, the question we're asking you, have you or someone you know gone through a divorce? Was the legal process clear? Or did it feel like navigating a maze? Of course, talk to us on our socials, TV47 Kenya on Facebook and on YouTube, on X at TV47 Digital. You can tag us at @Dida. You can also tag Fred. He's still part of the segment. And tujifunze more about divorce. What do you need to know? And what do you need to do? What do you need not to do when you're talking about divorce? My guest this morning is Ruth Tanui. She's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Ruth, karibu sana.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How do you feel like you're the people putting what God has put together? And I see that a lot on social media when your fellow your colleagues, you know, in the legal career profession, they post a lot and they say, today we are in court putting asunder what God put together.
No, but I feel before divorce was a topic that people shied away from, but now that has actually changed.
Yeah.
And I think it stems from people not understanding how it actually works.
Yes.
Because I feel as long as there is marriage, the wedding, it's inevitable because there's conflicts that can happen. So I feel divorce is inevitable sometimes, depending on if there's any conflict in a situation. Yeah.
So when getting into marriage is something that should be at the back of someone's mind, that this is something that might happen.
Yeah, I think that should be, because even I feel, that's what, as I said, in Kenya, people have always shied away from it. But from countries like the US that have already embraced it, people even do premature, like whereby you agree when we go into this marriage and something happens, they already go with that in mind.
Yes.
They do a prenuptial contract, whereby now we agree property will be separated this way and this way. Yeah.
Okay, that's as far as prenup is concerned. We'll get deeper into that to also understand prenup in the Kenyan context. But of course, we've also seen reports that are saying divorce is on the rise in this country. And I also saw something quite, I don't want to say interesting, because it's not really interesting. If you are people in love and you've chosen to come together, then divorce is something that, of course, hurts you too, and hurts children, if at all they're kids in that particular union. But divorce is on the rise. In Kenya, we are ranked 4th in the world, that we are, you know, our divorce rate in this country is quite high. I wonder how the corridors of justice in Kenya looks like on a day-to-day basis, if you can just paint the picture for us.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree with you. Like, divorce is on the rise. You even find lawyers who don't mostly handle family matters. You even find yourself handling them more than the normal process. So what happens is, but what I've realized, by the time someone is coming into your office, it's not what people don't know. It's not like someone just thought about it 1 month ago. Some even take 3 years before they come. Others take 2 years. Yeah, some people take a lot of time before making that decision or actually coming to a lawyer to actually now make the process legal. Yeah, you find the people have been separated for a while before they actually come to court or to the offices of the advocate to now seek for the divorce, to legally separate. But there's something also people should know. You know, there's divorce.
Yes.
It's not only divorce that's available. There's also separation, whereby you don't actually need divorce. Basically, is make sure the marriage comes to an end completely. You can even remarry if you want to, but you can decide sometimes to just separate. That means you're still legally married. Then maybe after a while, if you decide, you can now maybe make it formal and actually divorce, or maybe you get back together. Because our courts, to the contrary of what people think, it supports marriage. Even if you follow the normal divorce, what I normally after the judgment, you are given a decree nisi. It means you're still married. Court can give you 30 days to decide that we are actually now. So if you decide to
go ahead,
yeah, come together again, you don't need to do another wedding. You're legal. But now, after 30 days is when now you seek for the decree absolute. Now it means the marriage is completely over. Even if you decide to come together again, you have to now basically get married again. Yeah. So a lot of people, yeah, it's true. A lot of people are coming to our offices to get. But now what people should know is it's not something, people still I think people still are emotional. It's an emotional process, of course. So by the time someone is coming, I normally know in most instances they have actually made up their mind. Yes.
It's not something that somebody just wakes up one day and say, you know, I am fed up with, say, Ann Odida. I want a divorce and I'm going to file a divorce in court.
No.
There's always a process to that before people come to court. But you said separation is not necessarily divorce. So if, for example, say we have not come to courts to seek divorce the legal way, can I get married or get involved with other people if at all we are just talking separation? We are not in courts yet.
No, you cannot get married because now you have not formally divorced. Formal divorce is when now you get, they have told you the decree absolute. Is when now it makes the marriage completely done. But separation, you're still legally married. So the other party cannot remarry. But as you should know, it depends also if there's civil, there's civil marriage. It depends with what kind of marriage you got into. So civil, Christian, and Hindu, it's monogamous. But now Islamic and customary marriage is polygamous. So those ones are different. But if you intentionally got into civil, Christian, and Hindu marriages, it's presumed that you want to be monogamous. So until you actually legally separate under the law, you cannot remarry. It will be an illegal marriage. Yes.
So you also said that courts give you the grace period of about 30 days if you want to get married again. But will the courts really actually remarry you guys if you came to the same court for divorce? Then you come back and say you want to remarry this person whom you divorced, from just a few days ago. Is that possible in this country? No,
because it's not possible. Court gives you that period. You decide. If you don't actually now obtain the decree absolute, you're still legally married. Like, court does not have to remarry you. Like, it's already automatic. But now the moment the decree absolute is out is when now you remember you have 30 days. If court has given, sometimes they give more than 30 days. I think court looks at the circumstances, because some during the hearing, maybe court sees during now the petition hearing of the divorce, maybe court sees this one can be salvaged. They can even give 3 months. But some they see during the hearing of the divorce, this one is not salvageable. So now maybe that one, that's why they give the minimum of 30 days. So you still have, so at the mark of 30 days, it means, of course, you have decided to formally separate. But now if you decide maybe before you don't obtain the decree absolute, now that means you have decided maybe you want to get back together. But that's what I've told you, by the time people get to our offices, 99% of the time they've already made up their mind. Yeah, it's so rare for you to find that people change their mind in the process. And now remember, here it's even past the initial stage. You've even done the petition hearing, you're here at the end stage. It's normally so rare to find people who backtrack. Yeah.
But even as you say that most of the people who come to you as lawyers, of course, they've already made up their mind. But I'm interested to know the point at which these couples now decide to, of course, seek legal recourse. That they say that, this is not working at all. What trends are you noticing in the corridors of justice? I don't know if it has to do with abuse, be it GBV, SGBV. Right now we hear there's SGBV in marriage as well. What are the trends you're noticing that points to the part where they say this cannot work anymore for us?
So the common one is adultery or infidelity. That is the one that I've noticed is the most common. And desertion, whereby, like, even there's one I had where the husband had moved to Qatar, and now she was left in Kenya alone, and now and also failing to support financially, emotionally, especially where kids are involved. So you find you're married, but now you're carrying the weight of everything in the house. You don't get the support from your spouse. So that's the most common one, that people, when they come to our offices, that's the common one, because now someone says they have tried giving them, like, trying to communicate, like, this person to support you financially and also emotionally, but this person is like, I think, and mostly you find the other person maybe has already made up their mind that they don't want to be part of this marriage, so they use the desertion part or distance. They just stopped being part of so that's the most common one. And of course, infidelity is another common thing that people, because I think most people have their own, when it comes to morality. There's someone, when they get into marriage, a lot of people will be like, for me, the breaking point will be if you cheat on me. Or, it depends. And then someone says, another person, and anyway, but I've realized cruelty or assault, battery, it's not very common nowadays as before. Nowadays, it's not very common. But now you find another person will say, mine, some people maybe they find morally they don't find cheating to be that big deal.
Yes.
Others maybe they say the moment you hit me, we are done.
That's it for me.
Yeah, so I think it comes down to morality, what a person believes is the breaking point. And then others, by the way, you find like there have been a relationship whereby this person has deserted them for almost 2 years. So you see, this person has been trying because of, especially for the children. For most people, I realize it's the children that keep them, because now someone is not only thinking about themselves, they also know their children involved.
Yeah.
So if someone is like, they were trying for the children, but it gets to a point now, it has gotten to a breaking point. Now they just want to separate. And you know, unfortunately, when you're legally married, there's some factors that affect you.
Yeah.
Like for instance, if you want to travel abroad with and this person is not even part of the child's life, you know, you have to get the consent of both parents. So some people come, at least start with the divorce bit, then after the divorce they get sole custody, whereby now it can make things easier for them, because now they're like, this person is not even in the child's life or in their lives, why now have these obstacles for no reason. Yeah.
But when you talk about cruelty not being something that you see a lot in courts as the cause for divorce, is it because people are normalizing staying in abusive relationships, or is it that these cases are just underreported? Because day in, day out, we report about GBV cases, we report about people dying in marriages. Then
I think it's because these cases are underreported and the way people perceive it. You know, surprisingly, you'll find when someone goes to the police station and says that they have been assaulted by their spouse, for some reason people find it to be normal. That's when someone will ask you, ulifanya nini? Like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Like, if it's your husband, people don't see it as something, like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I think that's not the problem. And you know, unfortunately, when you go to court, as I've said, our system is fault-based. So if you're claiming your spouse assaulted you, you have to show evidence. And mostly the common evidence is normally you report it to the police. So you give an OB number, like, on this day, I went and reported. But now if the system is the one that fails you, whereby when you go, they don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Someone even says, like, by the time they take it seriously, it's maybe if it's that bad.
Yeah.
But now in most instances, you find people, even it's the system that fails them. So you find you don't have the proof. And now I think by the time even the police are not agreeing with you, so some people I think just shy away, and others find it as, you know, I think they're afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
So you find even someone who is undergoing assault, but from the spouse, they hide it. Like they don't even tell people around them. So you find someone trying to just cover it up. But I think, yeah, the way of it's underreported, and I think it's also the systems that have been put in place. And people even, they were saying that society has not really embraced it.
Yeah.
So you find someone it's not something that someone can say openly, like you just meet your friends and you're like, you know, my husband is assaulting me or something. It's not, it has not been made that open. Yeah.
Is it harder on the men's part or mostly on the women's part?
I think it's on the women's part is normally the hardest, but also for men now it's even worse. There's a stereotype. Like for a man, you know, you can't go. It's even worse for the men. Yeah. Because you know, a man can't just go and tell people that because someone will be like, how can bibi anakuchapa aje? Yeah. Like it's not even. Can you even imagine this man going to the police station now going to report? You know, people already have those stereotypes, so it's so hard. So I think that's why cruelty is not the most common. And something I've also noticed, some people when they come, they tell you, we don't want it to look so messy. They have said, you know, when you're doing a petition, you can't make it look like it was rosy. Court has to see there was something wrong. There was those grounds. Now the ones you're saying cruelty, desertion, and you have to bring them out clearly with like evidence, if possible. But now some people, they don't want it to, even some after you draft, they want to look at it to make sure it's not messy. Like for instance, now someone does it because you know someone is scared that this is going to be public record. So they don't want it to go on. So even by the time someone is coming to your office, they don't want anyone else to know that I was going through assault, or they tell you, do we have to put this part? Like, can't we use the rest? We don't have to put this ground. So you, of course, now you have to now find a way of going around it, because now you have to respect someone's. But I think courts have tried. What people don't know is if we go to court and let's say it's Francis Kinuthia versus Ruth Tanui, they don't actually put our names. When they are now, even in the cost list, you'll see they'll put FR versus RT, trying to just do that protection. But you know, it doesn't, like, I don't think it has protected it that well, because you know, this is going to be, remember all these documents are filed in court. So if someone wants to get hold of it. Even I'm just imagining if there's something like you people journalists, if I'm sure if you want to get hold of
Everyone
that, you
can see.
Yeah, you can, if maybe you're doing a story on something. So that's why I think people are normally, and I've noticed that's what people are scared of the most, the fact that this thing is going to public record. There's that shame. I feel people still have that shame. Even some people don't want you even to know, don't want even their family members to know they're actually getting divorced. Yeah, so they have seen, someone even would be like, has done a good cruelty, assault, but they'll tell you, is there a way you can't put that ground? They even want to look at the petition before you file, just to make sure it's not messy. It doesn't look messy. Yeah.
So despite us having a law that protects people's privacy, this doesn't really protect privacy of people who want to get divorced in the country.
Yeah, I don't think it actually fully protects, because in my opinion, I'm just thinking, unless if filing for divorce cases, for instance, maybe can have its own system where we don't file all the other cases. Because remember, if you come to my office, it doesn't mean I use a different system to file your case. I use the normal system where I file breach of contract, where I file employment matters, where I file land matters. We use the same system. So now, I mean through that, and the other files, you know, they're not protected, the information is not that protected. It's for everyone can. And also nowadays, you know, with virtual court, before by then when it was physical court, if it's a divorce case, people would be asked to walk out. So maybe if you are hearing everyone else, if you're not a party to the suit, you walk out to just keep that privacy. But now it's virtual, and the link is public. So anyone can. I've noticed by they have handled divorce hearings. Nowadays, court doesn't make sure that people are logged out, or maybe they log out everyone so that the people. So you see, this is something that I know that it's better. Physical is even better. If someone takes photos, it can be traced. But for virtual, you know, someone can just do screen recording and just share. So I don't think that privacy is there.
That's something that should be fixed. I want us now to understand the process. Walk us through the first legal step. If somebody decides today that they want to file for divorce, what is the first legal step that they should take? Okay, so if someone has made a decision they want to file for a divorce, I would. Divorce is one of the, it's not like small claims where you can represent yourself. So most of the instances, I will advise someone to go to a lawyer. And now, the first step is now getting that. I normally say do first the consultation bit. It's important because it's an emotional issue. Get an idea of what to expect till the end. So that's why I normally say first get that consultation. When you come into my office and you're like, now my marriage has come to an end, and so of course we'll ask you explain like what has happened, how long have you been married, all that. So the first step is get a consultation from a lawyer so that you're not in a position whereby you just start a process you don't understand. Yeah, so that's the first step I would advise anyone. Then now, because now normally legally, the first thing the lawyer would normally do is. And another thing also, the reason even of that consultation is, you know, you have to find out, there's some people they have told you desertion. They have already they checked out 2 years ago from the marriage. So they are not they're not in the country. So, and remember you have to serve this person. So that's another thing you have to know, because now these chances are this person may not respond if they actually don't care. But the good thing is people normally have that assumption that if the other person doesn't respond, it won't go forward. Or even the other person threatens. I have an ongoing one where the other party was like, I know people in court, like, I'm going to frustrate this process. I know someone who knows someone.
Yeah. I'm going to frustrate this process. But now some people even are scared of even doing that first step because they're like, this person is so powerful, they know people, it won't go anywhere. But the court process protects everyone. So the moment you file the case, there's a process. So after filing, that's what I was saying, you file the petition, and then after filing the petition and you serve the other party, there's we normally call notice to appear. Even the notice to appear, there's a document, the notice to appear, it's signed by court. Now, where you serve this party, telling them, this party is informed that there's a matter that has been filed before court, you have 15 days to respond to it. If this person doesn't respond to it, you will see even court telling you to file a registrar application, whereby you just tell court, you inform court that I filed my petition on this day, I served the other party on this day, you even put proof, if you served via WhatsApp, email, you put proof that you served this party, but they have not responded, and now I'm requesting this matter. There's normally, you proceed undefended because this party has not responded. If the other party has responded, now you normally request for it to proceed defended. So now that's why it doesn't matter whether the other person responds or not, the matter will still proceed. Yes.
So whether you like it or not, this, you know, I saw somewhere somebody was saying that as long as you have filed for divorce, then that automatically is a winning case. Do you agree?
Not really, because remember, it's governed by the Marriage Act, and the Marriage Act has stated the grounds. So court follows the law. Like, you have to have shown proof. So for instance, if you file a case and you don't bring out all those grounds in the Marriage Act, of course that one is not going to go through. Because but now what I've realized, courts have become more lenient. Yeah. So you find in most instances, it's so rare for courts to deny that divorce. It's so rare. It's very rare instances where you find someone has filed a divorce. I've actually so far not heard of one among my colleagues. Yeah. It's so rare, like for someone to file for a divorce and it's actually denied, especially for one where the other party has not responded. You know, that's already a sign. This person doesn't want to be in this marriage. Some even judicial officers will already see from the proceedings and everything. You know, you cannot force someone to be in a situation where they are not, you know, comfortable and happy, and especially in this era where people even are assaulted, there's issue of deaths in such situationship. Now, I can imagine if you had gone to court, court denies you that, and then now something bad happens. Yeah. So in most instances, it's true. Like 99% chance, it's so hard for court to say no. Yeah. So a divorce case is definitely a winning case on the higher percentage. On the higher percentage, but it's not be a presumption. It's obvious. So you cannot just, you know, someone might now assume, why do I need even a lawyer now? Because remember, you have to bring out those grounds, the ones you have stated. Yes. There has to be cruelty, there has to be desertion, all of them the ones you have stated, adultery or infidelity. Yeah. Why would the other party want to hold someone who wants to out the marriage hostage? From what you have, you know, encountered with your cases, for example, say you're talking about somebody who doesn't want to respond, or somebody says, I know someone who knows someone and they're going to frustrate this process. Yeah. Then if I want to walk out, why would my partner who I want to walk away from want to hold me hostage in the marriage? So from experience, the first one is normally someone who wants to vie for political reasons. So you find this person, of course, now for you to win politically, you have to show that you have a family unit. So they feel like, you know, they feel like if you're known as the divorced person, like the one even I'm handling, I think it's more inclined to that. Yeah. This person wants to vie, so they feel like if this person divorce, this is not the perfect time for divorce. Like they don't want to be in this marriage, but can you just wait past 2027? Let me first vie, then now you can do whatever you want. So it's just basically this person for political reasons. Another reason, it's normally even some people like they feel like the society is going to shun them, religious reasons. You find someone feels like if there may be leaders in church and everything, so they feel this thing is going to make people look at them differently. Or financial reason, you may find you're the one with the muscle. The person who wants to divorce is the one with the muscle in the relationship. So this person doesn't want to get rid of that to go away. Yeah, those are the most, I think, the common ones. The common reason why some people hold back, they don't want the divorce to go ahead. Yeah. When we talk about grounds for divorce, Wakili, are they only the four that you've talked about in the country? We have adultery, desertion, cruelty, and of course infidelity. Are these the only deal breakers in court if you're filing for divorce? There's also irretrievable breakdown of marriage. Yeah, there's that. But now basically what court terms that as, you cannot just use that, it can't stand on its own. It's basically meaning you prove the ones you have stated. There's also extreme depravity. You know, that one I feel they have left it open. Extreme depravity, let's say lack of conjugal rights, emotional support, financial support, yeah, extreme depravity. So it's like it has been left open. So it can be it can fall in any circle based on what we have stated, and also irretrievably broken down. But those are the ones the Act have listed: cruelty, desertion, adultery, irretrievable breakdown of marriage, and also extreme depravity. Those are the ones the Act have listed. Yeah. But before we get feedback, of course, from the question of the day that we're getting, irretrievable breakdown in marriage. Yeah. What does that mean? I think what I can explain, the Act has explained it as, anyway, let me use it has gotten to a point, it's not really working. You can't even communicate. It's not like this person there's assault. It's not like this person is sitting on you, but now it's not working. Maybe your personality is no longer, and you're no longer like that thing where you cannot pin it on any of the ones that you have listed. Yeah. But now the law says you have to prove at least one of this, maybe extreme depravity, because there's no way you're saying there's irretrievable breakdown. Like even communication, lack of communication. There's no marriage that can proceed without communication. Yeah. Because if this person has gone, doesn't even communicate in marriage, you know, that can be, court can consider that. Yeah. Because now how will you even make a marriage without the communication? And also there's also for time, but now court has been hesitant about it, 2 years. They normally say that it has to have been 2 years. Yeah. There's also the part court whereby, you know, it can be like just like something simple like maybe me start selling drugs.
Yes.
And I'm taken to court and then they in prison for 7 years. You see now that one, someone can go to court. You see that one, there's no cruelty, there's no adultery, but now this person can go to court because now I'm in prison for 7 years.
Yeah.
So that's why you bring the irretrievable breakdown of marriage. A lot of people, I think, they like that reason because they're like, it seems it's not messy. The ones who want to protect, they
don't want to pinpoint what's the problem.
Yes.
Let's hear from what our viewers are saying, if they have any comment or feedback or question with regard to what we're talking about. And the question you're asking online is, have you or someone you know gone through a divorce? Was the legal process clear, or did it feel like navigating a maze? Fred is on the other side. What are the people saying, Fred?
Yes, interesting conversation there. Have you or someone you know gone through a divorce? Was the legal process clear, or did it feel like navigating a maze? Remember, the hashtag to use is Morning Cafe TV47. Let's sample some of your feedback on this conversation. Matthew K. Samuel says, the process cannot be clear. In most cases, one side pushes for divorce while the other party resist. I think it's trying to say resist. In most cases, money, intimidation, and family power decides the end result. Really, Wakili needs to clarify on that. But ukiachwa kubali tu, mostly affected are men. That issue of intimidation and family power, in most cases, I don't know if that does apply in court. Gladson Wadime says, the court has pronounced itself so clear that marriage is not a business entity, that once divorce is filed, lazima kuwe na mtu ana share na pesa yangu. Once you decide to go, just go and leave my money alone. Secondly, that process can be smoother. It takes too long for my liking. How long is the process? I think that's a question or challenge that Gladson is raising here. Do we have any more feedback? Yes, on Facebook, yes, Mose Babu, it wasn't clear. I think this is someone who's gone through divorce. It wasn't clear. A little bit of dust. Leona dust pale. Yeah. Mushega Bernard, there is with no legal process. I don't really get this. There is with no legal process. All right. Oh, they support separation, I guess. Segut Misoi at Segut Arap says, very easy. Once a part has decided to divorce, the spouse has no otherwise. Court will give go ahead. This is someone who has experienced it. Victor Kapkorios, Moi PhD, and Sema, while the process is structured and lawful, it requires evidence, patience, and compliance with statutory procedures. And I think Wakili alluded to that yes, you have to prove your case in court. You cannot just come and say, I want a divorce and you're given. You have to prove why you want a divorce. Evans McKinney at Evans McKinney 1, it's very tedious and expensive. Another person who's probably gone through it. Kapkorios, I think we've gone through this one. While the process is structured and lawful, it requires evidence, patience, and compliance with statutory procedures. All right, that's the feedback. Keep it coming. TV47 Digital on X, TV47 Kenya on Facebook, and on YouTube. Use the hashtag Morning Cafe TV47. Back to you, Anne.
All right, thank you so much, Fred. A lot of concerns there, I see, just centered around how long the process of divorce takes. But before we get into that, we were talking about debunking the grounds for divorce, others that, are there, aside from the common ones: adultery, desertion, cruelty, and of course, infidelity. But you mentioned something about conjugal rights as well. And while I was just scrolling through, social media, I saw people ask questions like, how do you prove that this partner or this guy wasn't giving the partner conjugal rights? Or how do you prove adultery in court? So
for adultery, I think it can be maybe photos of this person with another person, or WhatsApp messages. But that's why you find even some clients will come with the evidence, like WhatsApp messages where their spouse has been communicating with someone else, and then the issue, or even pictures where someone was seen with another person, but sometimes even you can come with a witness, someone who can confirm that. There's even one who came to my office and was like, even the side chick is willing to come as a witness to confirm that they were the side chick of this other party. So that's when, but now for conjugal rights, that of course it can't stand on its own. Yeah, like you can't go, it can't stand on its own because it's hard to prove it on its own. But now sometimes people have evidence. Like someone might have, sometimes maybe you now start WhatsApping your spouse, saying that I feel this relationship, when was the last time, you know, we had the conjugal rights?
Yeah.
There's some way you can just get some evidence. But what I can say, the truth is, it's hard sometimes, unless you're actually keeping track. Or maybe you are good in keeping phones, you don't lose your phones easily, or messages. So that can be easier, because now you can print out the messages and present it to court as evidence. Yeah.
And in this era of AI, Wakili, I wonder, you know, the way you say, sometimes you can just come up with photos, or, for example, WhatsApp message as evidence. We are in the era of AI, and we're seeing a lot of photos that look almost real. Haven't you witnessed such a scenario or something close in court? Even if you're talking about sometimes a side chick can come to court and want to testify that, you know, so-and-so, we were together and all that. Somebody can just decide to pay somebody and tell them, come in court and testify that you are seeing so-and-so.
Yeah, that can actually happen even in all other cases. But now what happens is, that's when you come in as a witness, you're sworn in. And it's made clear you're under oath. So remember, the person who has been paid to come and lie, you'll be found legally liable if it's actually found out you're lying. And you know, also the burden now shifts to the other party. Because now for me, let's say now it's husband and wife. The wife is the one who has hired people, or even the husband. But let's say now in this context, it's the wife who has hired someone to come and say they were the side chick. This other party, you know, now you're going to counter-prove that, to confirm that this is not true. So you find, of course, now burden now is on you, the other party, to prove that what they're saying is not true. Yeah. So maybe you can bring evidence that can counter it. You can bring an expert. The moment you see the photo is maybe an AI photo, bring an expert who can verify that in court.
All right, just hold on to that point. We have a caller. Naliaka is calling us from Busia. Naliaka, good morning.
Good morning. Niko na swali.
Yes, Naliaka.
Sasa tusemeko mumesha divorce, na mumemaliza the whole process. Huyu mtu akurutie. Mtafanyeko nini?
All right.
Mutarudi kwa kotini muambie mumerutiana?
All right.
Kama mshamaliza kudivorce, that means lazima mget married tena. Kama divorce legally it's done, court ishasema imeisha, umepata decree absolute, amwezi rudi kotini. Court hata it's not its role to marry people. So kenye mtafanya ni sasa mget married tena. Sasa mtadecide na mtafanya customary ama mfanye civil, mwende kwa AG, ama mwende kanisa, mget married tena.
All right. So once the court has said no, or once the court has put asunder, there's not going really, back.
You don't went to court saying you want to separate. So once the court has made it final, you have gotten the decree absolute, it can't reverse it. Yeah, it's your part. Now you have to go to now get married again.
Now that you bring in the point of course, civil, customary marriage, that the cultural one, ile rurasho, nyombo, and all that. Are the grounds for divorce similar in all these, civil marriage, customary, and religious?
Yes, they are the same, those grounds, but now for customary, it is one additional one, whereby they say that any ground that it's against the customs of either party, the custom that you use. Maybe you got married into the Kisii customary marriage, Luo, Kalenjin. So if there's a ground that now, according to the customs, it's included as part of the reason for divorce, that one can also be an addition to, it's the same even for Hindu. I noticed for Hindu it's also the same, but now for Hindu there's the issue of if someone changes religion. For Hindu now, that one, it's also one part of it. For Islam, even the Marriage Act doesn't provide it. It's mostly dealt with the Catholic court and the Islamic laws. But the grounds are common.
I hope you don't lose your train of thought with that. Let's pick this call from Kisii. Good morning. Hello, do we have...
Hello.
Yes, talk to us. What's your name?
Mimi ni Thaddeus.
Thaddeus?
Yeah.
All right, talk to us.
Mimi niko na shida.
Okay.
Niko najaribu kuulizia usaidizi.
Wakili yako hapa?
Nilikuwa nimeoa.
Yes.
Lakini pipi huwa anatoroka each and every time. Anaama karibu miaka 15. Na tulifanya hii mambo ya civil marriage. Sasa kama saa hii sasa aliondoka mwezi wa 9. Na hajawahi rudi, hata nikimpigia simu yangu hachukui. So sini kama hiyo, na familia yao imemshili. Sasa unajua akienda kwa anaongea mambo mbaya juu yangu. Mimi ndio niko na watoto, mtoto wa mwisho saa hii ako grade 10. Mimi ndio niko na watoto. Mimi ndio nasomesha, nafanya kila kitu, lakini sasa yeye anakaa tu kwao. So nimeshinda sasa, nitafanya ndio nilikuwa natafuta usaidizi.
All right. Thank you so much, Thaddeus, for that, and we hope that wakili will be able to address your concerns. Bibi anashinda ameenda. He still has the kids, he's taking care of the kids. The wife is protected, the family, he says. So what's the solution for him?
So it depends for what for him he wants.
Yeah.
Because now he says he takes care of the kids. He doesn't want her to be part of the kids' life, so also support. Because now that now means it's now seeking for maintenance in the children's court. For the part of now the marriage, does he want the marriage to come to an end? There's also, I think it also relates to someone who asked that people say that there are some families that are so powerful,
yes,
that they influence, there's that intimidation. So I think there are people who feel, even why waste time, go to court.
Yeah.
But that's not true. Like I normally tell people, you know, court is a court of evidence. Like when you go to court, court doesn't look at who are you, who's your family member. Court looks at the grounds. This is the divorce petition. What are the grounds in your divorce petition? Yeah. And that's why court gives a judgment. And if that judgment you're not satisfied with it, you appeal to the High Court. And now the High Court now will make a determination. And the High Court now focuses on the law. Like I normally tell people, like the law. Yeah, of course, I won't also be like, I won't shun the fact that there are people, of course, there are people who pay the judicial officers and all that. Yeah. But it's not that common. So I normally tell people, if you want to actually now divorce, just go to a lawyer. The lawyer is going to file the divorce petition. And if court is saying no to your divorce, court will have to give a reason. And if court is delaying the matter, because some people feel now, of course, that power, of course, it may come into this court, may try to delay the matter. The thing is, you request court to make a formal order of now why the case is not moving forward, and request for an order and make an appeal to the High Court. And of course the High Court, you make your case. I file this case, let's say in 2020, it's 2023, it's not done. Yeah, and you see now that court will look at what are the reasons why the matter has not been moving forward. So I tell people, the law, we normally say that the law is clear. Yes. Yeah. So as long as you have good grounds, you're not coming from a malice point of view. Yeah. If you get a lawyer will file for you the petition in court. Yeah. So for him, let him not feel like, the family, that he's saying the family are protecting her. Yeah. It depends, not saying it narrows down to what he wants. If he wants to formally separate, he can go and file for, they have said the separation where they don't actually divorce, or they can go for separation or they can go now for divorce. It's up to him. And then for the children's support, if he needs maintenance, court says it's supposed to be an equal, both parents should support the kids equally. So he can go to court. Yeah.
So what if he doesn't want to separate from the wife? Like anataka the wife back in his life?
So it's beyond us as the lawyers. Maybe now they need therapy, a family therapist. Because now, the way I've said, for us now as lawyers, we come in on the part of, if you want, it's up to you. So I give you the options. There's separation, where you don't actually divorce. Then there's the divorce now, where you actually now put the marriage to an end. Basically, the marriage contract comes to an end. Yeah, so maybe now it's up to him to decide. And if he wants to save the marriage, maybe I would advise they go to a family therapist or a marriage therapist who can now guide them into now the emotion parts. Yeah. All
right. Let's get this call once again from Kilifi. Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right. What's your comment or feedback or question?
I want to ask a question.
Okay.
I separated with my wife 5 years ago, but now she wants a divorce.
Okay.
And she told me I'm going to be summoned. So I was asking, can I decline the summons so that the divorce can go easily?
All right. You got that question? Paul, can you?
Can I decline the summon?
Okay.
Can I refuse the summon? Yes.
All right. Can he decline the summon? Now, the courts have already summoned him. Can he decline that summon?
No, he cannot, because, it's the other party, the petitioner, the wife, when they file, your role is just to serve. Like, whether this person declines or not, you just have to prove you served. Let's say even if he serves him through WhatsApp, so long as court sees the double tick, it confirms that he received them, or if it's email, he emailed, or maybe gets a process server to go and serve him. So long as the process server, process server is, their process servers are under, they serve court under oath. So the process server, so long as the process server says, let's say they're coming to serve someone who is here, they'll say we walked into the studio, we found this person dressed in, let's say, red or in a green suit, and I served. So long as you prove service, it doesn't matter whether you decline the summons or not. If you don't respond, court will assume you don't want to respond, so long as you're served. So it's impossible for declining this, and the reason for even is declining, saying to make the process easy.
Hard to delay the process. No,
you cannot. It won't work. And even nowadays, the judicial officers have already noted that part.
Yeah.
That's why even there's a case the one I was telling you about, where the other party was saying that they're going to delay the process.
Yeah.
Court told me, let's give them, because they're not filed within 14 days, then court was like, let's give them another 7 days.
Yeah.
If they don't file, you just request to go and defend it, make the necessary application. And court gave me exactly 7 days. Like we were in court on Wednesday, and court gave me a date the next day. Now you see, for that, and the matter is going to proceed and defended. So that process of delaying, it can't work.
It can't work.
It can't work.
Paul, we started the show and we said that whether you're there or not, the divorce will still continue.
The divorce will still proceed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back now to the question that we were getting from our viewers, the feedback on time, right? That it takes a lot of time. So how long does the divorce case take in Kenya, average time? Because again, and other people think that you have to stay, say, 2 to 3 years in marriage for a divorce to be taken seriously in court. So how long does that process take?
Okay, for the timeline, that before you go, by the court I've already, before there was a time that it had to be at least 2 years. But now court doesn't look at that more. When you go court, you look at the facts or the circumstances. Of course, you can imagine for someone, we get married, you've gotten married to your husband today, and then maybe the husband moves to America, all that period. Now you see, it will be unfair to you to wait for 2 years, then come to court. So court will look at the circumstances of the case before making a determination in regards to that. And then for the issue of the process, how the length of the process in court, it depends with the court. Of course, if you're filing in a case, let's say Milimani has a lot of cases. It might take longer. But for outskirt courts, I don't even like it when now, because you know what determines where you file the case. When you come to me and you want to file a petition, you file the case where the defendant resides, your husband now resides, or where you yourself reside. Yeah, so that's why if you're filing a case, let's say in Ruiru, it won't take more. The cases are filed in Ruiru, even 1 year is low. Within a year, it's already done. Ngong. The ones I know that can take time is Milimani. But and it's also, anyway, the impact also is sometimes the judicial officer maybe becomes ill. Every time your matter comes up, they are not present. Or maybe they are transferred to another court. So that's why it can take time. But the process itself is not tedious the way people feel. Because, you know, you file maybe now, of course, what can impact it is now maybe the courts where you have placed the case. How it depends now on how that process goes. But, you know, the moment you file the petition, they have said, me and you might even feel divorce is one of the, compared to other cases like employment, commercial, I feel divorce is, because you know the moment you file the divorce petition, has the other party responded? If no, you file a register application, request for it to go and defended. If yes, you file the register application and request court for it to proceed defended. So what happens is court sets a hearing date. And in most instances, divorce cases, there are only 2 people. It's only the spouse, the petitioner now, the one who took the case, and the respondent are the witnesses. So even I normally see in most courts, they'll put hearing for 10 minutes. So you find if court has like 5 divorce matters, court will put, let's say 9:10, the first matter goes, 9:20 the next one. Because now they're first, because it doesn't have a lot of issues. There's even one where court will give you a ruling. There's one, we had a hearing at around 9:30, and court was like, come for the judgment at 11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it depends. And also it will depend, what I can say, it depends with the court and the judicial officer. Yeah, like for this one, court was like, I'll make my determination at 11.
Oh, wow.
Especially where now the other party didn't respond. Where the other party doesn't respond, it's a hearing that will take less than 5 minutes, because it's only me as the advocate and my client. There's no other party. So basically, what you'll just do is adopt your statement. Yeah, and maybe give a few reasons and just say what you want from court. Yeah.
So if the respondent doesn't respond to the petitioner or the question or just to give a take, then it makes it easier for court to make its decision. Wanasema we are kona kiburi, we are going ahead.
No, it doesn't even come from that angle. It just comes from the angle of this person has not disputed the petition. Yeah, And also, I said the court is a court of evidence.
Yeah.
And also another thing people should know, it doesn't mean if you file a case in court, automatically means if the other person has not responded, you win the case.
Yeah.
So you still have to prove. That's why when you see for this one, you have to request for a hearing date and defended. If it was the case whereby the other person has not responded and court cannot be like, because the other person has not responded, we allow your petition, you're divorced. No, court has to still hear you. Court has to still look at your petition and confirm that you have brought out the grounds before. I normally tell people there are some cases where people have gone to court alone and they lose.
Yeah.
The other party has not responded, but not for divorce mostly. I know for other cases. Yeah.
And Wakili, before we picked a call from the one we got from Kisii, you were telling us about the grounds of divorce and how they are different from, customary, religious, and civil service. I wonder if you feel like you left a point out?
Okay, so no, but just generally, it was just like the grounds are the same all through, except customary, that one, what I said, it depends on the custom that you got married into. If there's another ground that the custom states it's a ground for divorce, court can consider it. And then for Hindu, if you change religion, it's the same cruelty and desertion, but now when you change religion is an addition one. And then for Islamic marriages, it's handled by the Catholic courts. Even the Marriage Act has not listed, but now it's according to the Islamic laws. Basically, yeah, those are the grounds.
All right. So what are the do's and don'ts of divorce, Wakili?
So let's say for the do's, I'm just like, if you've made up your mind that you want to divorce, I think the best thing is just, first of all, it's an emotional process, I normally say. And remember, they were like the first caller who said that they changed their mind. So make sure by the time you're taking that process, remember court will make it permanent. At the end, you'll have to do marriage again. So my advice would be, make sure this is something that you want. Secondly, don't, like another thing, just know that divorce doesn't deal with children matters. Yeah. So there are people who assume that, if there are kids involved, remember that's not a children's court.
Okay.
Court doesn't deal with children matters. And then there's the issues of the property. I think we have not talked much about it.
Yes.
But remember also,
you can just highlight more on it.
Yeah, the issue of matrimonial property. After the divorce, now court, there's no division of that property. Remember, court, you have to prove contribution. So I would advise people who are in marriage, make sure at least it looks immoral to say it, but have proof for any contribution that you have in the marriage. Remember, contribution can be companionship. And someone can say it's hard to prove companionship, but companionship can be, you wrote a poem. You wrote, like, you're supporting this person wrote to you, thank you for supporting me. Through your support, I've built this business. That's very good evidence for companionship. So remember, court looks at contribution for matrimonial property after the divorce. So I can say basically that, and people should not assume that if your family is powerful, or if your spouse has connections, that should not be a ground, should not hinder you from going to file your petition. Court is a court of law. The court will look at your grounds, and even, let's say, when that judicial officer is handling your matter is compromised, you can always appeal.
All right. So when we talk matters divorce, children and property are not involved in
the divorce court doesn't handle children or property. It will just handle the divorce part only, and then now children, you have to handle it differently. Another thing people should know, you being divorced will not create any impact for the children matter. Yeah, court looks at it independently.
Right.
Like, you can't be like, we are divorced, that use it now as a major ground. But I normally say, just to protect yourself, when you're doing the divorce petition, remember this is court evidence. So just extra caution is, remember, when someone has filed a petition and someone is saying you assaulted them, someone has said, and it's not true.
Yeah.
Do put your answer to petition and cross petition saying this is not true. Because if you don't contest it, someone can use it in trying to take custody away from you, because remember, this is evidence that was taken to court. So someone can say even during this evidence. So it's good, like, when someone has filed a divorce and someone is saying lies, like, even sometimes you find someone is like, I just don't want to go through this emotional process. Yeah, that she has said a lot of lies, or he has said a lot of lies in that petition. I just don't want to. But I'm like, no, just make sure it's like let it not go uncontested. It can be used against you. Yeah.
So as we wind up, and this is your final question, Wakili, what are some of the mistakes that you see people make when filing for divorce that sometimes, of course, delays the process, or they are the 1% of cases that fail in court?
Yeah, so of course the mistakes is not putting in the grounds, the exact grounds, trying to, you feel like the shame and everything. So of course if you don't put the grounds as I've stated, the Marriage Act has provided, the divorce may not go through. And another thing is ensure, like, don't use, you see that these processes where now someone from the beginning wants to frustrate the process.
Yes.
It might backfire on you. Because remember this thing will go through. And for you now, if this person, let's say, put in issues they have said it goes uncontested, remember what this person has written has not been contested. And for you, the focus will be like, you just don't want to respond to frustrate the process. That's impossible. Like, because the court process will take process. And they have said this person may find the best judicial officer who will hear the matter and give and give their ruling or their judgment the same day. And now, and within 30 days, the decree is made absolute. So, and also, don't start the process if you're not sure. The mistake, if you're not sure that you want to end the marriage, don't start the process. And my advice also will be, don't start with the divorce if you have children. If possible, handle the children matter first. Because remember, they're the ones who feel the impact the most. So at least make sure you put them as a priority. Deal with, me I normally advise, that's even when someone comes and they have children, I normally ask them, have you sorted that issue first? I think that's normally good. At least make sure, even if possible, have a parental responsibility agreement in place of how the children are going to, because remember you're separating. It's not only you two, there are other parties involved. Yes, and for property, for the issue of property, this is something maybe people should not shy away from talking about property. When you're doing any investments, talk about it. Say, like, if you're doing any contribution, don't put one name in the title. Ensure it's two people. And anyway, have evidence, have receipts if possible. If maybe someone was purchasing land and maybe it was 2 million, they paid 1.5, you paid 500, have your evidence for the contribution in case of anything. Of course, we expect the best, we assume the best, but no, expect the best, but prepare for the worst. Yeah, be prepared. Yeah.
Wow, Wakili, I have learned so much just from this particular session. I don't know if we can have a part 2, and then we can now break it down, children law, property, and all that. But of course, maybe we've had callers as well, people call in. But if somebody wants to just talk to you on the side, because labda kutaka kuuliza kitu on call, how can they now find you?
Okay, for anyone who wants to reach out to us, our law firm is based at Kingston Residence, Ngong Road, next to China Center. You can also reach us through our email, info@ruthtanuiadvocates.co.ke, or you can reach us through our office number, or both WhatsApp or call 0715 780 155.
Just repeat that number once again.
0715 780 155.
Yes. All right, that is Wakili Ruth Tanui. She's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, speaking to us about divorce and the law. What you need to know, what you need to do, and what you need not to do. Asante sana Wakili for making time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
That was a good class. Nimekani kama mimi ni mwanafunzi wa law. Thank you so much. Let me now join Fred tuone wa Kenya wanasema vipi. Of course, with regard to our question of the day this morning.
All right, have you or someone you know gone through a divorce? That's a question. Was the legal process clear? It's about the process. Or did it feel like navigating a maze? I'm sure you've learned so much today.
So much.
Well, now, okay, so much yet this is a window. But so this is your feedback. Let's just sample some of the feedback. Yes. Friday at West Mapesa says, na watoto wanenda wapi? Good question, watoto wanenda
wameambiwa you fix that first, and children's court.
Divorce court does not handle children's issues. Kuna children's court. Victor Kapkorios, huyu alikuwa list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Number 4, issues of property are determined separately under the Matrimonial Property Act, as clarified in Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA Kenya versus Attorney General, and Wakili Tanui said exact same thing, that this court does not handle children or property. Hiyo ni mambo ya kando.
Yes.
Right.
Bado Victor Kapkoris, huyu anakaa kuna knowledge about this
issue. Ni wakili pia.
He says, divorce in Kenya is a legal process governed by the Marriage Act and the Matrimonial Causes Act for marriages celebrated before 2014. It's not a walk in the park, as the court must be satisfied that the marriage has irretrievably broken down. Wakili also talked about that. He
said that lazima ukuje na evidence. Yes. Evidence pa karatasi. Usikuje tu ati nimekuja tu.
Bila hiyo no.
You have to.
Yes. We have some more.
Lilac at Lilac Moesh says, now nowhere is safe, whether in or outside the marriage. Earlier today, I saw that the Kenya's High Court has ruled that assets acquired during a marriage do not automatically qualify as matrimonial property, subject to equal sharing upon divorce. This means a spouse may leave a marriage with nothing unless they prove ownership or contribution. Once again, as Wakili said, divorce, kando. Alafu after that,
Sort kando.
uende mambo ya property na watoto kando.
Yes.
Do not mix the two things.
Ni kubaya.
Ni kuzuri.
Ni mbaya. Gavi MP anasema you have to prove one of the 5 grounds for divorce, not easy as it may seem. Of course, wakili ametuambia hiyo pia. Thank you so much for that comment. Larry Owino Carlos, sasa mkidivorce, is it necessary to co-parent? Ama hata children are treated as property? Mnagawa nusu-nusu.
Hiyo utaenda children's court. We'll have a session on children's court. Wakili will come back here and tell us about how matters are handled in the children's court. For today, it was divorce.
Divorce. It's like people are confusing this.
And that's the problem. And that's why the confusion comes in. Mtu anaimagine akienda file for divorce, analeta mambo ya property hapo. In fact, he owes me money. Oh, watoto hatuwataki sijui nani.
Kila kitu anakuja hapo kwa family court.
File for divorce.
Kids kando.
Kids kando, property kando.
Absolutely.
Focus.
Focus.
Diff Madara says alibeba vitu zake, akachukua lastborn, akamwachia firstborn. Lastborn paternity was contentious. After 5 years, now see, my uncle went and reclaimed the dowry from a Lego in-laws and moved in happily ever after. That's a customary version of Jopini.
Oh, wow.
Now, there's something different.
Yeah.
Mpaka unaona sasa ameanza na watoto, property. You can
anaongelea the customary grounds.
Customary.
Yeah.
Yes. Probably another session for divorce in the customary sense. How does it happen? But in the legal sense, unaenda kotini and you file a petition.
And of course, there's that one, religious grounds as well.
Kienda ka this court mambo ni tofauti pia. Yes.
All right. My take home sasa ni whether uko ama hauko, the divorce will still go on.
Still go on.
Sasa ukisumbua.
Swali ile tunauliza leo ni hii. Have you or someone you know gone through divorce? Was the legal process clear? Because I see there's a lot of confusion. Or did it feel like navigating a maze? Hashtag to use is Morning Cafe TV47. Of course, the conversation continues online on all our social media pages.
Absolutely.
On Facebook, TV47 Kenya. On YouTube, TV47 Kenya. And on X, TV47 Digital. You can tag me as well at Fred Indimuli. Wakili pia alipeana nini yake.
Alipeana. Anaitwa Ruth Tanui. That is our advocate. My handle is at @Ann_Odida. The hashtag to use is Morning Cafe TV47. We'll use your feedback for future conversations and tuendelee hapo social media.
Right.
And we'll see you tomorrow bright and early.
Yes, it's been an amazing show. Thank you so much for keeping us company from 6 a.m. till now. My name is Fred Indimuli. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.